Quite a number of years ago now, I was coming back from the Caribbean on Christmas Eve. I'd been out speaking in Trinidad and I was coming back via Barbados, and I met for the first time someone who's become a really close friend. We actually had a race on Christmas Eve along the beaches of Barbados, and he shared with me that his church was called Kingdom First. And that made a real impression on me because I'd been seeking God about a situation I was facing in the church. And it just lit something up for me that I wanted to come back and to say to the congregation, we're going to go for Kingdom First. And I saw it as an initiative that we were going to introduce. But one of the reasons I was thinking like that is because I know that this verse in Matthew's Gospel, which is part of the Sermon on the Mount, can so often end up with the focus shifting to the second part of the verse, where it has to remain on the first part. Let me read it just in case you've forgotten it. It says this in verse 33 of Matthew 6, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." It's a bit like that verse in Luke's Gospel where it says, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together. And suddenly people's minds are on the shaken together and given in abundance and the overflowing and everything else, and have forgotten that it's actually not saying give so that it will be given unto you, but give and it will. And this verse is the same. It's not seek first the kingdom so that all these things will be added. It's just seek first the kingdom. Don't prioritize the other things. Don't keep looking for the other things. Don't wondering where they've got to, wondering when they're going to turn up. God has made his promise. Just keep seeking first the kingdom, and everything else will come into place. That's the promise. But our responsibility is not to focus on the second part of the verse, but to focus on that first part. I'm so grateful to my friend for calling his church Kingdom First. And for that day we spent together. We spent many days together since, but that day made an impression on me. And even flying back home and coming into the church on Christmas morning, I just had a real challenge. And I knew that from then on for me, it had to be seek first the kingdom and his righteousness. And I just pray for you, focus on the first part of the verse and the second to look after itself.